Biggest development of the hour, India notified Pakistan that it was placing the 1960s Indus Waters Treaty in abeyance with quote-unquote immediate effect following the Pahalgam terrorist attack. However, Islamabad has for the first time signaled its willingness to discuss Delhi's concerns about the treaty. An Indian daily, in fact, has also reported that Pakistan's Water Resources Secretary Syed Ali Murtaza is understood to have recently responded to India's formal intimation on the Union Cabinet's decision to keep the treaty in abeyance. Reports, in fact, also say that the Pakistan's official offered on behalf of his government to discuss the specific terms India now objects to. Murtaza's offer to discuss India's objections is especially significant because despite two prior notices that were given on the issue in January 2023 and again then in September 2024, Pakistan had not expressed any sort of willingness to discuss the Indus Waters Treaty. But this time around, they are willing to sit down across the table and have a chat about the India's Waters Treaty. Defence and geopolitical expert and former DG Infantry, retired Lieutenant General Rameshwar Yadav is joining us on the broadcast here at News9. So thank you so much for speaking to News9. Lieutenant General, first up, a quick question. What do you make of this development? In previous 2 years, we called them to have a discussion with us on Indus Waters Treaty, but they did not willing to do so. This time around, they have themselves initiated that, we are willing to sit down with the, with New Delhi to have some chat on what's going to be the future of this particular treaty. What do you make of it?
Jai Hind, Sakshi, to all your viewers. Firstly, let's talk about the conceptual issue. Conceptual issue is like this. Jammu and Kashmir, as far as Pakistan is concerned, it is all about water. It has nothing to do with Muslim majority state or anything else. They are looking at the water and the water for the Punjab part of Pakistan. So that we must understand the psyche, what exactly it is. In 1960, we went into this treaty, and in that treaty, you see, whatever the share of water Pakistan got as a low reference state, it was as it is very high. And at the same time, there was a proviso that in case the circumstances change, so we can have a review of this treaty, and which had gone to Pakistan in January 23 and then thereafter in December 24, and they took India and this treaty for granted. And now that, as per the Modi doctrine, we are saying that blood and water cannot flow together, and now they're feeling a pinch of this entire thing, and the smartness they have been doing all this time. So it is pinching them, and that's the reason they are willing to come onto the negotiating table as of now. Notwithstanding that, our goodwill, what we had shown in 1960, the Pakistan has not reciprocated ever. You see, look at the economy from economic point of view. They have started terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir the last 4 decades, and in the bargain, what is happening? So, economy of J&K is getting impacted in a very big way. Number one. Number two, they have blocked the land route to Central Asia. They have stopped the trade, despite the fact India wanted to give them the most favorable nation trading partner. They have ignored that, and they have done everything possible to see to it India does not have a means route for the economic connectivity with the Central Asia and Eurasia. Third thing, the China-Pak economic corridor, they permitted that corridor to be carved out through Pakistan occupied Kashmir. It is I would put it, politico-economic question. So they have ignored Indian sentiments altogether. And all throughout our history ever since from independence, Pakistan is indulging in anti-India stance everywhere in all the cases. Given this kind of a response to by Pakistan, and what they are running around, they want the water. So these two things do not go well. So as per the present Modi doctrine, I think it is the right reason. Moreover, the circumstances have changed. There is a climate change issue wherein the amount of water which was coming in all these rivers had reduced. The population in Jammu and Kashmir has increased 3 to 4 folds since 1947. So they have a legitimate requirement of additional water. Moreover, the 3 eastern rivers Satluj, Beas and Ravi. Their entire water means we are required to take the entire water, wherein a lot of surplus water is we are permitting them to flow into Pakistan. So therefore, in overall, if you look at it, India has been very, very magnanimous as far as Pakistan is concerned. Despite, I mean, in earlier war also, we had not stopped it. But now that things have gone beyond the level of tolerance, then India has taken the decision, and I think we should stick to it.
Also, Lieutenant
Sakshi?
General, I think you have pretty sternly mentioned at the end, but if there are any external forces, if India is called to sit across the table to have a discussion, to chat on Indus Waters Treaty, should India be given in at this point of time, looking at, the tensions between the neighbors? Should India be sitting and having any sort of conversations with them?
Certainly not. You see, I've already explained the response of Pakistan to our magnanimity has been zero, rather than it's totally negative. So they have to improve their graph first. You see, the terror and water certainly cannot flow together. Means we can't keep on helping out in the economic well-being, and at the same time they are drawing blood of our innocent citizens. So where is the rationale? So in my personal opinion, we should not agree to it now or ever. We must draw out our own deductions, and we must ensure Pakistan is given water only what is actually required by them, and we must dictate the terms now.
Absolutely. Also, Lieutenant General, this was one of the biggest diplomatic moves in the initial phases that India took against Pakistan. What other things at this given point should India be doing to choke them more and completely, once and for all?
You see, India has already taken steps. Firstly, they have been diplomatically isolated throughout the world. If you look at the kind of support that we have got from majority of the nation except Turkey and Azerbaijan and one or other country, no one has supported them. Even the mainstay Islamic countries, nations, Saudi Arab, UAE, and a lot of other influential countries, they have condemned this attack by them. And this madness cannot be permitted to done. You see, we have 140 crore people and 25 crore people, they are needling us on the daily basis with impunity. So this kind of a thing cannot go on. So we have to squeeze them politically, diplomatically, economically, from all the angles that we can ensure. But they have been doing it all this time. Now it's our turn to do it. And you see, we have had a lot of strategic patience. Every time we have let them go and agree to their terms. But now is the time that we have to be tough and we have to take tough decisions. This is what our government is doing. And our higher leadership is very strong. They're very clear in their mind and they're taking absolutely appropriate decisions.